Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am doing my bullet journal week 3 and week 4 spreads, and I thought that I would share them with you since I didn't share them with you guys on Saturday, which I am very sorry about. But here they are, better late than never. So, yep, we're starting off with week 3. I actually went really simple with this one. I think I put more effort into my last week because I was very inspired. But I did like how this turned out. I did a very simple theme here with the floating umbrellas that are lifted up by the air, and I kind of kept a color theme lately. I've added red into this theme again, which I feel like I'm going back to January again, but I just saw this photo, which I will gladly link down below so you guys can see what photo I'm talking about, that has a red umbrella and everything else is just dark. And I don't know, I love those type of pictures that just have one accent color, particularly if it's red. And I wanted to do this. I didn't color them in. I think I'll do that as I go out through the week, which right now it's looking pretty red. But you'll see why I'm talking about that in a second. I will probably fill these in as the weeks go by. And I've treated this bullet journal more like a coloring book than anything. I wanted to be able to just kind of color in things or patterns or anything. So feel free to do any type of pattern on your umbrellas. Remember that the shadowy figures were part of my theme, and they are. I just didn't want to overdo it with having each one, since my first 3 pages had the shadows and the umbrellas, so I didn't want to overdo it. I did kind of also want to put the umbrellas because those were a big part of my bullet journal. So with this next week, I kind of went a little bit crazy because I found this other picture that I really loved, but I also found a very lovely quote that I just felt kind of went with it. Part of it is just, I don't know, it came to me and I saw it and I loved it, and I thought that this would go so well with it. So I decided to draw this out more in detail. As you can see, this figure is no longer in shadow. You can see every detail that I drew out for her. This was the first time that I actually just sketched from a reference. I didn't place anything on top. I tried my best to do it. I felt like my umbrella came out a little bit weird, but that's all right. You know, first try. And I like showcasing my mistakes because as an artist, you grow that way. So this is just something that I have to, deal with and keep going with. So, of course, I love the red umbrella because that was something that I really wanted to incorporate in the last page, particularly in this week. So I ended up doing this, but you can see that I color her in. I don't fade her in just with black. I don't shadow her because, like every spring, things go in shadow, because we're in a cloudy mood, and then we end up in the bright sunlight with the summer. So I just felt really, really connected with the quote that I have, and I hope you guys like it too, which you'll see in a minute. But moving on to this leg part of the video, I had so much trouble filling this in, and eventually I nailed it. In the photograph, which I will link down below, she's wearing tights, and I thought, well, maybe I can just do skin color, but it just didn't look right. So I decided to put some, what would you call them, tights or leggings on her, but it just did not look good. So I ended up putting 3 different types of colors on it. I put the shaded light skin color, then I added a gray, and then I added a darker gray to make it a little bit darker. But as you can see, I am doing a trench coat, and I'm just coloring all of this in. I could have done this off camera. I just didn't want to leave it blank. I actually wanted to color it for you guys on camera. Plus, I was really excited to color this in. I'm not going to lie. So I just finished it up, and colored it all in for you so you guys could see how I was going to do it. And it was actually pretty simple to do. I was actually really surprised that I got it on the first try. But be careful when it comes to these Crayola Super Tip markers. They do bleed very easily if you keep layering on like I did, especially in the legs. So just be careful with that. And she's my only big detail on my week 4. I went ahead and I did my whole week on my left hand side because I've added something new to my bullet journal. I have added a list side where I just list things out and then I cross them out. It does help for me. It's just something that I do for organization. So I wanted to add it this month so that I can go on and do another one in May. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know. So I did Monday, all the way to Sunday. And then I had my list over here, which excuse me because you cannot see anything that I'm doing on the right hand side just now, but you can see that it's a little detail. I do move it in a second. And then I put all my lists, which I did not fill in because those are more things that, I can change and move. And yeah, y'all don't need to know about those. And I imagined her walking down the street and this was just hanging there. And I quite like it. Next is the quote. And the quote, I really loved how it matched the theme of this, especially with the shadows that I had already drawn, which I did love. But I did feel like this just went so well with it. Just to let you know, I did make a couple of mistakes and I just used my uni ball pen to kind of go over them with what I had done wrong because I did mess up on a word. So the quote is, she walked in the shadows, believing she didn't deserve the sunshine that was only a step away, which I think is so good. It's just such a great quote. I think it's by Atticus, which I did use in January, one of his quotes, so I guess I'm on a streak with him. But anyways, that's the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you haven't. Make sure you follow my Stacia Sketches Instagram and tag me if you recreate any of these ideas. I hope to see you guys this Saturday, so be sure to come back.